a new week of the training plan, and I've changed the training plan again. The core of the training plan remains the same. It's still Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday, whereas the exercises still mostly being the same. The ones that I deemed the most valuable haven't changed. You still got the snatch, the clean, the front squats, bench, RDL, but the frequency has changed and the accessory stuff have mostly been removed. For example, negatives, I deemed them useless for front squats because every single time I get to doing them, I'm just too tired. So the top half of the negative I can do really easy, but when we get to the bottom half, the part that I'm really focusing on, is quick. I just drop the bar. So giving up on that. RDLs, they work, but I don't have straps, so I have no issue doing the negatives even heavier than what I do, but due to my lack of straps, when I try to do them, the bar is going to slip out of my hands, and me focusing the grip means that I'm not able to really try to slowly lower the bar with my hamstrings. So at least for now, with that one, I'll get rid of that. And then a lot of the other stuff that I had, other than the plyometrics, which you guys haven't seen, I've got rid of. What we noticed though was the hamstring work I wasn't able to get in because most of it was pushed to Saturday, and usually Saturday I ended up just skipping it because I'm just tired and I'm going to be sprinting in probably like an hour or less, so I'll just usually just leave it. But I moved some hamstring stuff to Monday, increased the frequency with the RDLs, added one more extra day on Saturday, put some more paddle off twists in. For the RDLs and the paddle off twists, they're going to be showing up 3 times per week in my training plan compared to just 2 or just 1 weeks before. I feel like this is more balanced, and the results we can get from this should be much better than before, as well as the recovery impact. Because now, for the hamstrings, we've got 2 dedicated days beyond RDLs to try to actually get the hamstrings right, and with that, hopefully and supposedly, we should be good enough for the competition on the 21st of April.
I've decided to answer some of your guys' questions from like a year ago on just anything, whether it's track or gym or whatever. So to start off with the oldest one, Adablaze made a comment saying races, minor tips to be fast, like talk about dorsiflexion and stuff to sprints. I'm going to talk about one thing, and that's hip height. So when you sprint, you want to try to have your hips higher than when they would be when you're walking, so that you can just glide down the track. And that happens from the blocks. You start with low hips to higher hips, and your hips will be at the highest at top speed. And the way to keep your top speed is by having your hips stay high the entire time. Once they drop down, that's when deceleration starts to happen. A lot of the problems that people have when they sprint comes down to your hip height. When your hips aren't high, you have more backside mechanics than you do front side. You can't hit the ground properly because there wasn't much space to...
Good morning, vlog. Hey, let's reload it. Let's do that again.
Hit the ground. Your knees are bent on contact the ground. Your knees might not be together, so you're not doing a figure 4 shape when you have contact on the ground. So there's a lot of issues that happen just off the hip height alone, and the way to fix that is just to bounce. You want to figure out how to bounce on every single step you take down the track, which is one of the reasons why we do plyometrics. We do plyometrics to try and teach ourselves how to move in a more coordinated fashion, and that coordination drifts over to sprinting when we try to sprint more coordinated. So you start off with bounds, well, not just bounds but plyos, where it's in a much slower motion, with one of the best ones being bounds, and then you sprint and you speed it up so you can figure it out. So that's why we do things slow before we do things quick, whether that's doing a bunch of skipping drills or bounds or strides or actually sprinting. You start slow before you get fast. You start simple before you get hard. The more simpler it is, whether it's just raising your leg up and down, or to the harder things where sprinting, which requires extreme coordination, you start easy, then you get harder, and that allows you to sprint faster and better, which is why we always do these simple things, because there's a lot of ways that we can use this simple stuff like skipping to improve different parts of our sprints.
out by a decent amount, so that makes sense because a lot of the exercises either was just doing casually, or this is one of my first time in a long while I'm doing them like with rows, so it makes sense. For the clean, the 95 today, we probably could have gone even higher, so we're quite close to the goal of 100 kg for working sets, but again we're pushing for 130. But for now, the base goal is to get to 100. Get 100 for a lean, snatch, bench. I think that's it. The closest one obviously being clean, and then following that also the bench, which is quite close as well. We'll keep going. Also the rows, I guess, but we'll keep pushing and see how many exercises we can get to 100 kg. We are very close.